Okay, so today we are going to do Morrissey and the first of the gang to die. So yeah, this was requested a bit ago, and yeah, so today we're going to do a Morrissey reaction. Since last Friday I did a Smiths reaction, and I'm pretty intrigued just by the title alone. I see this is from You Are the Quarry, and or the Quarry, I excuse, but from 2004. So let's just get into it and see what the heck's going on.
Los Angeles, you are too hot.
You have never been in love until you've seen the stars reflect in the reservoir. And you have never been in love until you've seen the dawn rise behind the home for the blind. We are the pretty, petty things, and you're standing on our streets where Hector was the first of the gang with a gun in his hand, and the first to do time, the first of the gang to die. Oh my, Hector was the first of the gang with a gun in his hand, and the first to do time, the first of the gang to die.
I love the melody.
Oh my, you have never been in love until you've seen sunlight thrown over smashed human bone. We are the pretty, petty things, and you're standing on our streets where Hector was the first of the gang with a gun in his hand, and the first to do time, the first of the gang to die. Such a silly boy. Hector was the first of the gang with a gun in his hand and a bullet in his gullet, and the first lost lad to go under the sod. Not very rich and the very poor, and he stole all hearts away. He stole all hearts away. He stole all hearts away. Hey, 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 hey. He stole all hearts away.
Feeling it now.
He stole all hearts away. Hey, hey, hey.
Well, my goodness, first of the gang to die from Morrissey. I really like that song. My gosh, like I said, I like the melody. The chorus was very catchy. I can imagine that will be in my head for a while now. And I mean, it sounds like he's really talking about something here. I mean, obviously somebody died, something, and I mean, the intro has me curious as well. And yeah, but just listening to the song, it's a very catchy song. I like the tune, and also I wanted to say with Morrissey's voice, as I've I can't pick my words here, but with me listening to pretty much every Smith song and all that stuff, and hearing Morrissey in his early days, I really hear, like, I guess I want to say, like, more wisdom in his voice or something. You know, he sounds older, but there's more maybe not gravel to it, but I mean, it's just something different. But I still like his voice, and it sounds more mature, I guess, basically. And I noticed that change. Yeah. So anyway, I think he was in like his mid 40s anyway when he was recording this, so he still sounds great here. So with the about on Genius.com, just about the song here, Morrissey's my goodness, Morrissey's doomed romantic persona is the perfect vehicle for this update of American gangster mythology, which moves the action from the fedoras, Tommy guns, and speakeasies of the 1930s in Chicago and New York to the modern mean streets of LA. His snuffed gangster Hector is no angel. He steals from the rich and the poor and the not very rich and the very poor and steals our hearts as well, that bastard. Morrissey's grand musical backdrop and emotional distance allow him to croon his way to Hector's complex inner nobility, and the result is a sensitive anthem for a tough, tough guy. And also, I did want to say about the musical backdrop, as it says here, it did sound very kind of extravagant, I would say, and something different from a Smith song that I've heard. There just seemed to be a lot more, maybe more instruments or something. I don't know if it shows the personnel on this page, but yeah, it just seemed to be a lot more stuff going on in the background. And I like the keyboards as well. That stuck out to me, and I wanted to say that. And yeah, just his vocals on the credits here. Vocals, Morrissey, written by Morrissey and Alain White. I've taken French, so that's how I want to say that name. And then we have on keyboards Roger Joseph Manning Jr. and Mikey Farrell. And then we have backing vocals Alan White, and then guitar is White and Boz Borer, and drums Dean Butterworth. I love that last name. And then bass Gary Day, and released July 12th, 2004, so 16 years ago. Yeah, I mean, like I said, nothing to complain about with the song. I loved it. And so the intro, just Los Angeles, you are too hot. I mean, I guess that's just a true statement, I would say, yeah. So that we have the first verse with an annotation. It says, I'll just read the verse. You have never been in love. And I said, that's untrue. Until you've seen the stars reflect in the reservoirs, and you never have been in love until you've seen the dawn rise behind the home for the blind. Morrissey makes a comparison with today's gang violence in LA, stating that the Western culture, i.e., heroic stories about fighting for love, forbidden romances which result in murder, etc., has always been full of idiocy. Goes on, mankind's weakness for love makes us self-destructive, and we're proud of it. And then there's a quote, I don't know where this is from, but it says, we are all in the gutter, but some of us are looking at the stars. It's a quote from Oscar Wilde's play, Lady Windermere's Fan, Act 3. The Pretenders also use this quote in Message for Love, or of Love. It could mean the speaker is downtrodden, but idealistic. And yeah, but anyway, from my perspective here, with the line, and you have never been in love until you've seen the dawn rise behind the home for the blind. So I mean, it's like there's a way it's like where the person is lucky that he can see the dawn rise, he can see the stars reflect in the reservoirs, especially behind the home for the blind, where a blind person can't see. So yeah, that's isn't that something new you learned? So anyway, with the pre-chorus, we are the pretty petty thieves, and you're standing on our streets, where Hector was the. And then we go into the chorus, first of the gang with a gun in his hand, and the first to do time. And then we have the annotation. This is about gang violence. Because of love, it could be a song about LA gangs, but the Hector character makes it much more universal. Hector was the first of the Trojans who was to confront the Greek hero Achilles in the Trojan War. So yeah, Morrissey pretty much just picked a universal name to go along. And then, like I said, the chorus is just so good, so catchy. The first of the gang to die, oh my. Hector was the first of the gang with a gun in his hand, and the first to do time. The first of the gang, oh my. So then we have the second verse. You have never been in love until you've seen the sunlight thrown over smashed human bone. And I mean, that depicts quite the picture. So the Trojan War started because of a woman, Helen, after Hector was slaughtered. The Greeks massacred all of Troy, which is basically the fault of love and mankind's weakness to love. So it says, the story is often looked at as the start of the Western literature and thus culture. Death is an allegory for marriage. Indeed, marriage is death of passion, death of emotion, death of individuality. The image of smashed human bone inspires fear and disgust. Yes, just like the thought of marriage does. But when you're able to see beauty in this horrendous picture, you know you are really in love. So yeah, we're getting pretty deep here. And excuse the car going by. But yeah, and then we have the chorus again. And then the third verse, the last annotation. And he stole from the rich and the poor, and not very rich and the very poor. And he stole all hearts away. He stole all hearts away. He stole all hearts away. And then we have the annotation. The Hector in question here could also allude to Hector Peterson. He was the subject of an iconic image of the 1976 Soweto uprising in South Africa, when a news photograph, photographed by Sam Nzima of the dying Hector being carried by another student while his sister ran next to him, was published around the world. He stole all hearts away due to the uproar he caused. He was killed at the age of 13 when the police opened fire on protesting students. So yeah, that could be one other thing that Morrissey was talking about. I know Morrissey often put a lot of work into his songs. I mean, he often took inspiration from like poems and books and events, so that is a possibility. But yeah, that's basically it for everything on genius.com. And also, I wanted to say with the ending of the song, I really liked how Morrissey said he just carried out the word away in particular, and just the whole away, something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head right now, even though I just heard it. But yeah, I really liked his voice, and the song was catchy as heck. So I guess that's about it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for liking, subscribing, commenting. I hope this made you happy, whatever. And if you want to leave a suggestion, whatever, about a Morrissey song or a Smith song that I haven't reacted to, you know, whatever, go ahead. I'm all ears. So thanks for watching. Thanks for liking, subscribing, everything again. I'll talk to you guys again soon. Thank you for the support.